Getting the byline, pulling that across extremely well. Gunn going for the in-swinger. Surely the last opportunity of the match. Helped on there toward the side netting. It is a goal kick. Mike Galloway was the player with the target. He wants a corner, he's not going to get one. And I suspect that will be the last attempt on goal until the penalty shootout. Referee Jim McCluskey checking his watch. And there it goes, the final whistle. It's a penalty shootout. Well, who would have expected or believed that? So there's the applause around the stadium. It's been terrific entertainment all afternoon. The ebb and flow of the match. Raith Rovers starting brightly, Celtic taking over. Then appeared to have won it 6 minutes on the end when Charlie Nicholas scored, until that terrific finish by Gordon Dalziel after Gordon Marshall parried Jason Dare's shot. And the extra time period very evenly fought, in fact, Billy. There was no suggestion that Raith Rovers were in any way out of things in that period.
Definitely not. If anything, they seem to be the team at the end up. Certainly one or two of them were down with cramp, but it never affected their play, and they kept being prepared to take the game to Celtic. In fact, I think they had more shots to goals in the latter period than they did early on. But this penalty shootout, I don't know. I don't fancy it. I would have preferred a replay.
Well, there speaks the player and the manager, but from the spectating point of view, it is riveting entertainment, that's for sure. They've had 120 minutes to sort this out without success, so a method has to be found, and this is certainly the way which has been producing incredible excitement in recent seasons. So Brian Potter there in the tracksuit was the hero in the semi-final shootout for Raith Rovers, but he now will no doubt be saying to Scott Thompson, it's your turn. So we'll be here right until the final is won. Now David Sinclair looking into the crowd, trying to avoid Jimmy Nichols' gaze, perhaps, in case he's asked to take a penalty. Well, he's found whoever he's looking for. So all the organisation going on now as the managers decide who'll take the kicks, and then of course whichever end they're taking at will be populated by Celtic supporters. That was always a little bit of a worry, but the way the ticket apportionments were sorted out, it was inevitable really that there would be the one major stand, the Govan stand for Raith Rovers, and the other three stands devoted principally to Celtic supporters. So those who are not involved make their way from the playing field. Coin tossing going on again. Sean Dennis is stand-in skipper now for Raith Rovers, with Gordon Dalziel off the field. It's certainly a lottery, there's no doubt about that, and it's a lottery of immense importance, particularly I think to Celtic. Well, a sea of green and white scarves at both ends. Raith Rovers trying to match that in the Govan stand, but now the referee completes the formalities, and it will be a first penalty to be taken, I think, by the new Raith Rovers captain Sean Dennis, replacing Gordon Dalziel. Scott Thompson will watch the first one. So it's Raith Rovers who'll be first, and should they score, it gives them a great edge, there's no doubt about that. So it's Sean Dennis, he's scored once this season. Gordon Dalziel, the normal penalty taker, and he cannot be involved because he's been replaced. The referee has instructions for the goalkeepers to stay on the line. So 5 penalty kicks aside to sort this out, during which sudden death. With the noise growing for Sean Dennis and the Celtic supporters. Gordon Marshall on the line. Here's Sean Dennis. Scores with the first calmly. And that's a very important start for Raith Rovers. Give them a very important edge. Gordon Marshall guessing wrongly. Well, Willie Faulkner for Celtic. Scott Thompson in goal. Well, Raith Rovers are very accomplished in that penalty shootout against Airdrie. Scored all 5. And here's Willie Faulkner, a very important task for Celtic. Calmly finished. Sense of relief for the player who scores. And once again, the goalkeeper deceived by the runner. And this time, it'll be Jason Dare for Raith Rovers. A young man who's 20 years old, who's very good shot at goal 4 minutes from the end of the 90 minutes. Was parried by Gordon Marshall, and Gordon Dale scored the equaliser. Here comes Dare. Not too convincing, but he scored. Well, Gordon Marshall chewing pensively in his gum there. Oh, he's very close to that one. Now John Collins. Well, he's certainly a player full of scoring confidence. Scott Thompson, the keeper. The confirmation will be here until the end. Here's Collins. Well, 2 goals apiece. He'll be taken penalty by Collins. Well, very high quality penalty kick. The next one will be taken by, well, one of the men of the match for me, Colin Cameron. The little man from Sligo Rovers, 22 years old. You can feel the tension inside the stadium here at Ibrox. And it's a great penalty again. Hit very crisply and very accurately. Gordon Marshall going the right way this time, but the pace and the accuracy beat him. And the next one will be taken by Andy Walker, who scored the first goal for Celtic to equalise the earlier effort from Stevie Crawford. Andy Walker, no stranger to penalties. He's done it. No chance at all for Thompson. Relief for Andy Walker. The responsibility on a player in this here is enormous. And now one false move could end the chances of one team. Stevie Crawford scored the opening goal. Beautifully struck with his right foot. So, Gordon Marshall on the line. And again, played pretty straight, but past the feet of Gordon Marshall. Again, the goalkeeper quite close to that, but couldn't get his hand down quickly enough. Stevie Crawford indicating that his heart was beating rather quickly there. Now it's Paul Byrne for Celtic. Oh, it's very well taken. And now it is effectively sudden death. Paul Byrne is relieved. Very well taken, deceiving the keeper. So all 8 penalty kicks so far have hit the net. And this is Stephen McInnesby, another 22-year-old. Tommy Burns can hardly bear to watch. The power was there. Gordon Marshall, no chance at all there. This one thundered home. And now the responsibility rests on Mike Galloway for Celtic. If he misses, Raith Rovers have won the Coca-Cola Cup. This is the 10th penalty kick. The tension virtually unbearable, I'm sure, for Galloway. Well, half failure, I suspect, in the Celtic camp there. The ball has gone in, but only just. The goalkeeper got a hand to that. With enough pace in the ball, though. Oh, what a relief for Galloway. So now we're into the extra men who really weren't the first choices for these. Jason Robot on the substitute comes forward. Bedlam all around Ibrox. Jimmy Nicholl looking on calmly and impassively, but what's going on inside his mind, I wonder. Here's Rowbottom, the Welshman. No mistake, and the edge provided by taking the first is substantial. 6-5 to Celtic. And as the skipper, Paul McStay, will take the next for Celtic as that one goes flying past Gordon Marshall. Here's Paul McStay, who played in the side which won in 1982 with Charlie Nicholas and Tommy Burns, the manager. Unthinkable, surely, for the skipper to miss. But he has! Raith Rovers have won the Coca-Cola Cup! It's quite amazing. Jimmy Nicholl congratulated all around. So too is Scott Thompson. It was Brian Potter in the semi-final. Now it's despair for Paul McStay, consoled by his teammates. It's a tragedy that one of these players has to suffer this despair, but it's Raith Rovers who won the shootout by 6 penalties to 5. Scott Thompson emulates his young reserve teammate Brian Potter, and Raith Rovers have won the Coca-Cola Cup. For Celtic, it's dejection. 5.5 years is the last trophy. That sequence continues, and yet there were only 4 minutes from victory in the 90 minutes. Scott Thompson salutes the Raith Rovers supporters on the far side. And who would have believed this? Here's the save, which has won the cup for Raith Rovers. A brilliant effort from Scott Thompson. Paul McStay, the unlucky player, running up here in determined fashion. Did it pretty well, but the goalkeeper guessed right and moved quickly. And poor Paul McStay watches the Raith Rovers celebrations.
What's the reaction? The tears in your eyes, unbelievable.
I know, look, I'm speechless, I can't say.
The tears are in your eyes, how do you feel? The finest moment of your football, your life?
Yes.
The finest moment?
Yes.
Enjoy it.
Well, Jimmy Nicholl there, almost overcome with the emotion of the occasion. It's been incredible there. Jimmy Nicholl, when that goal went in, or when the save was made by Scott Thompson. And here's a look at Jimmy Nicholl. Scott Thompson going to make the save from Paul McStay. And there's the reaction. There's the reaction of Jimmy Nicholl.
Jason, you came on. What was it like to come into this?
It's fantastic. Dream come true, really. Everyone I love before, it's a dream come true.
You're very, very calm. There's madness around you. You're very calm.
I'm taking it all in. I think I'm still in shock.
What was that penalty shootout? I've never witnessed drama like that.
I was first on the sudden death, and I was meant to be the first on the sudden death for the semi-final, and luckily it didn't come to that. But when it came, I just picked the spot, and luckily the keeper went the wrong way.
You better go enjoy the party. I think there's some party run behind you. Fantastic.
Well, really, what an amazing afternoon this has been. Who could have believed it?
Julian, what about that? The whole party, it's unbelievable.
I just can't believe what's happening here, you know. We're now in Europe, it's unbelievable. Such a small club can do such great a thing as this. To beat Celtic in such a superb stadium, it's just something else.
The tears were in the manager's eyes, a few of the boys here.
There's a few of them with tears. It's just something we've dreamed about as we've progressed, and to actually happen, it's so untrue.
And perhaps a moment of sympathy for Paul McStay.
well, you've got to finish in this sort of way. It's got to be finished somehow, but I feel sorry for Paul because I wouldn't want to take a penalty.
Julian, congratulations.
Well, thanks, Jake. Thanks very much.
So that was Julian Broddle, the Raith Rovers left back, and an Englishman up here enjoying this occasion. And sympathy expressed for Paul McStay. Little wonder David Narey gets his third winner's medal, 2 for Dundee United, and 1 now for Raith Rovers.
Ali Graham, how does it feel?
I can't believe it. I'm going to burst into tears. I think Jimmy Nicholl's already burst into tears. This is absolutely unbelievable. I just can't believe it.
What about that penalty shootout? Were you able to watch? Were you able to watch it?
I was, but I mean, I was really nervous. I think I was next up, and I didn't want to take a penalty. And I must admit, I prayed to God just for me to miss it.
When Celtic scored their second goal, did you think it was all over?
Well, that was it again. But I mean, Airdrie done it and we come back against them, you know. So unbelievable.
Well done, Ali.
Thanks.
So the losers' medals being presented to these disconsolate Celtic players. They funnel through. They'll want to leave this ground as quickly as they can. They certainly won't want to be around much longer. A game which they dominated for long spells after the opening 20 minutes or so has slipped away from them. A moment of a lapse in concentration perhaps towards the end after going in front, and they paid the ultimate penalty here. But now the moment which these travelling supporters from Kirkcaldy could never have believed would happen. They came in 1949 to play the final against Rangers and lost, and here's their first trophy win coming up. These medals being presented now to the officials, the match officials, and the trophy will be presented by Mrs. Penny Hughes, who is the president of Coca-Cola, and she is now about to hand this trophy to Gordon Dalziel, who's back in position as captain of Raith Rovers. It's a fairy tale end. There's no question about that. Mrs. Penny Hughes hands the trophy to Gordon Dalziel, and the Govan stand erupts. So the players receiving the trophy, Ali Graham, rejected by Motherwell, biggest signing for Raith Rovers. Then Julian Broddle there, number 3. Young Stephen McInnesby, the right back, who had such a torrid time early on from Tom Boyd. David Sinclair, who changed position in the second half so effectively. Then to Jason Dare, who set up the equalising goal before the end. Stevie Crawford, who scored the first, the 20-year-old for Raith Rovers. And then Jason Robotham, a very effective substitute. And a huge moment there for Ian Redford, a winner before for Rangers. And coming on there towards the end, there's the hero who saved the penalty, Scott Thompson. Well, they're savouring every second of this, these travelling supporters from Kirkcaldy. They couldn't have dared hope this could happen. Sean Dennis was a hero, little Colin Cameron there, number 10. And David Narey, the man of the match, collects the trophy also. So the photographers crowding around Gordon Dalziel and his teammates. Jimmy Nicholl is talking to Chick Young.
Jimmy, I have to say that you're still shaking a leaf. The emotion's unbelievable here.
No, I know that. I still can't talk. I mean, it means so much to everybody concerned, and at the same time I feel sorry for Paul McStay and Celtic Football Club, but I can't take away from the effort the lads put in today.
You're in Europe, that's the cold fact of life at this time.
And I said before, it's laughable. The thought I was on him, so I'm laughing. Of course, I'll be laughing for the next 5-6 days. Don't worry about that.
You'll never forget. You've been through it all with Rangers, Northern Ireland, Manchester United. How does this compare?
There's absolutely no comparison. No comparison. I mean, but looking at the performances, John, I thought we started well. 2-1 down, and thought, oh, here we go. And the way they got themselves back in the game, and I can't speak highly enough of them. Martin Harvey, everybody concerned with the club. Delighted for everybody.
Jimmy, one word, they'll be dancing in the streets of Raith tonight.
Chicken dancing, whatever you want to do, I'll be doing it. I'll be doing it. Thank you.
Well, the only lower league side to win this before Raith Rovers was East Fife back in 1947 when they beat Falkirk 4-1 to win this trophy. Billy, a remarkable afternoon.
Yes, it has been, and it's been a marvellous achievement by Raith Rovers, but I'm delighted for Jimmy Nicholl. I think his preparation for the final was ideal, that he set out to to tell people that he was out to enjoy himself, but secretly he was planning very, very positively, and his team responded magnificently to him. And at the end of the day, I don't like to see anybody losing in a penalty shootout, but all credit to Raith, and they'll certainly enjoy themselves tonight.
Evidence there that fairy tales come true. Back to Dougie Donnelly.
Yes, the 1994 Coca-Cola Cup Final, encompassing the triumph and the tragedy of sport. The triumph, the sheer exhilaration of these Raith Rovers players. Scott Thompson, the goalkeeper, who saved the vital penalty. Jimmy Nicholl, overcome with emotion. And the tragedy, for Paul McStay in particular, the utter heartbreak of seeing Celtic's long, trophyless run continuing. That's what it's all about. And Ali, Jimmy Nicholl is a great friend of yours, I know, a former teammate. You obviously feel a great deal for him at this moment.
Oh, without a doubt. I think we saw it there, judging by his reaction when Chick tried to interview him. He's absolutely overcome. He said it's one of the finest moments in his football career, and he's had some career, believe me, Dougie. And for him to say that, it obviously means a lot to him. He's got to be proud of his team today.
We're obviously delighted for them.
Yeah, I've no nails left here, sitting here. Delighted for them. Obviously, everybody involved at the club, everybody connected, support-wise, and obviously the players. Look at them, delighted for them. A lot of them are ex-teammates, and dream come true for them. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Every one of them.
The penalty shootout. I mean, we sat here, as I'm sure everyone at Ibrox did, and everyone watching at home, the sheer drama and tension of it, it's almost unbearable.
It is unbearable. I mean, as you said, the three of us were sitting here and we could hardly watch. It was incredible. So I don't know how the players going up to take the penalties were feeling. It's down to nerve at the last minute, and the Rovers lads stuck their penalties away well. Gordon Marshall didn't have a save from any of them. And unfortunately for Paul will be devastated, but it's just one of these things. It's
every professional, everyone who loves football, I'm sure, will feel something for Paul McStay, Craig, won't they?
Without a doubt. But first of all, it was a great exhibition of penalties. I'm afraid somebody had to obviously miss one, and afraid Paul was the unlucky one.
It'll be no consolation to Paul that he was probably Celtic's best player in the day as well.
Absolutely.
And that's the way the irony of the whole thing's unbelievable.
But it's what cup football is all about, that overused cliche, that's what it's all about. This is what it's all about. The little team, if you like, the team from Kirkcaldy with 10,000 fans through here for a day they'll never forget. They have beaten the mighty Celtic, the Premier Division opposition.
Of course they have. I mean, we say cup games are great levelers, Dougie, and it's certainly the case because it's a one-off, it's extra time, 90 minutes, and Raith fancy their chances, there's no doubt about it. It doesn't matter who you're playing. In a one-off game, you must fancy yourself as having a little chance. Raith, under Jimmy Nicholl, Jimmy had them so psyched up, it was unbelievable there, and I just can't believe the result. It's incredible.
And the implications for Celtic, Craig, one has to say, this was the match they had to win. We said before the game they couldn't afford to lose. They have lost it.
They have, but they'll just have to buckle down and get on with things. There's obviously the Scottish Cup coming up, and still a long way to go in the league, but I thought it was a great spectacle for Scottish football there today. Great final, end-to-end stuff, and four good goals. Great stuff.
When Celtic scored, Charlie scored with about 6 minutes to go, we thought that was it. We thought we could pack our bags and go home. And then they get the break and Gordon Dale scored equaliser, and then you're thinking, can it go anyway here?
It was the game that had virtually everything. But at the end of it all, it's the dream that comes true. For Jimmy Nicholl and for his Raith Rovers side, after a 2-each draw after 90 minutes and a goalless extra time period, the cup finally goes to Raith Rovers after that dramatic penalty shootout. It really has been a remarkable afternoon here at Ibrox. I hope you've enjoyed it with us. From us all, goodbye.